Sharp Game here, back again with another article from a scientist that's still studying the brains of the Caucasian. And he says if you're a white person living in the United States of America, you're probably a racist. So it's a very fascinating read, and I'm going to read some of this. If you are a white person who grew up in the United States, you are very likely racist. This does not mean that you are a bad person, or that you treat people of color badly, or even that you believe consciously you are better than dark-skinned people. You are probably a lovely person. You probably donate to charity and bring food to sick neighbors and adopt puppies. And he goes on to say that, but from our explosion of research beginning in the 1990s, we now know that the human brain uses stereotypes without our awareness or consent. Our brains want to ascertain as quickly as possible whether new individuals are safe or like me or in my tribe. It uses stereotypes as a kind of shortcut. We are all susceptible to these judgments, and because they are so fast, a learned stereotype is very difficult to avoid. And they also go on to say that the majority of white people who take the implicit association test for racial bias do demonstrate biases against dark-skinned people. In a 2007 study of over 2.5 million responses, University of Virginia psychology professor Brian Nozick and colleagues reported that 68% of participants demonstrated negative implicit attitudes towards black people, dark skin, and black children. A 2010 follow-up study headed by Nozick revealed that despite the U.S. election of its first black president, little had changed. Wow. Our conscious brains say one thing, but our sweaty palms say another. This is not to say that personal beliefs exert no influence. It's just that our brains have to override our initial responses, which requires both time and cognitive capacity. When we are afraid or stressed, stereotypes reign. Our speech and behavior, therefore, depend on how well our conscious brain inhibits automatic stereotype responses. Our brains love to form and use stereotypes. And in the U.S., if you are a white person, you almost certainly carry negative stereotypes against people of color. That's because people in the United States are surrounded by messages of white as default, white as safe, white as best. That's very important, what I just read. I'm going to read that again. That's because people in the United States are surrounded by messages of white as default, white as safe, white as best. And anything outside of that is not so good and bad. And he also goes on to say, and we internalize those messages. We pick up the signals all around us, starting as young children, often without our knowledge. And I always say, a lot of the messages and the brainwashing starts as a kid. It starts from a baby in the crib. Those signals are in the picture of the white police officer in uniform next to the picture of the unmarked black man he shot looking for Scuffy and Dangerous. They are in the viral media coverage of the black woman slapping her son instead of the one performing surgery on someone else's kid. Good guys ride white horses and wear white shirts. Bad guys wear dark clothing and drive black cars. White witches are the ones you want to find in the woods. Black witches, of course, have black cats which are bad luck. In the world of computer security, black hats are the malicious hackers and white hats are the heroes. There are white knights, black hearts, white wedding dresses, and black markets. The Christian devil is the prince of darkness. Jesus is often depicted in robes of pure white. So religion is very powerful. And goes on to say, according to Chavez, licensed clinical psychologist, he said, I think that stops a lot of people from growing, thinking I'm not racist. I don't have racist beliefs because it's impossible. You have to be from a different planet not to be a racist. And white in this country, our conscious brains say one thing, but our sweaty palms say another. Race always matters, according to Hector Adams, professor of psychology at the Chicago School. Race always matters because it was established as the defining feature of who was human and who was not human. Race has shaped the history of every individual who has set foot in this country. You damn right. 5 stars to him. And studies have found that the human brain shows heightened responses in sensory and emotional areas when we observe others in pain, a likely marker of empathy, but not so much when the person in pain is a different race. We literally do not feel the pain of others. Yeah, and if someone doesn't look like you, it's going to be very difficult to show or feel some type of empathy for them. That's been proven to be true a long time ago. So this is a very interesting article. And Chavez recommends connect with people of color. He's talking about white folks. Connect with people of color that are healthy in their ethnic identity. In other words, don't go looking for people whose ideas align with yours. Find someone who will make you grow. Put yourself as a white person in a situation where you experience discomfort, but you are willing to listen to the experiences of others. Experience the lives of people of color, not as a survivor, but in the terms of the community. Adams stresses that self-improvement requires work. You need to be listening and paying attention to what kind of thoughts you are having. Your automatic thoughts and body cues will help you tune into your implicit bias. Research also reports benefits from imagining ourselves as black or other race members. In studies, participants' test scores improved after they played video games, and dark-skinned aviators mimic the movements of dark-skinned people or temporarily trick their brains into thinking dark-skinned limbs were part of their bodies. So it's a very interesting study, man. You know, some people, I know some white people that they do some good and they do a lot of bad as well. And I just think some white folks, they just can't help it, man. They're just not, in the United States of America, a lot of white folks, I think they're just not motivated to do good. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, a lot of people just aren't motivated to tell the truth. It's kind of like that type of thing. See, if you tell the truth or if you do good, there's no reward. You know what I'm saying? There's no reward in telling the truth. I mean, this is how a lot of people see it. There's no reward in being a good person. I mean, long term maybe, but for most people, they want instant gratification. And then you have, some people that think they better than you. And you got some people that a lot of white folks don't see a lot non-white people as people. Not even, they look down on them, and they might slum out with them and have fun with them, but a lot of white folks know, even if they have sex with you, lay down with you, on some levels, most white folks know that they're better than you. And that's the truth. You know what I'm saying? And, this is what it is. Until something changes in this country or changes around the world, shit is going to keep on being the way it is, man. So I'm not surprised about this article at all. It's, yeah, a lot of white folks might be good people, but it's all in the mind, as they say. So if you like what you heard, subscribe to my channel, check out my blog, chooseyourrelationships.com. Until next time, I'm out.